Hello students, welcome to eDufundae. I am your chemistry mentor for the topic hydrogen and its compounds, and today we will discuss the topic from this chapter, and the topic is position of hydrogen in periodic table. So let us see the position of hydrogen in periodic table. Here we are having the periodic table, and hydrogen, as you can see, is the first element in the periodic table. But जो हाइड्रोजन की पोजीशन है that is very uncertain in the periodic table. Can anyone tell why? ऐसा क्यों? Because hydrogen shows similarity with alkali metals in 1A group, और we can say group 1 elements के साथ हाइड्रोजन बहुत सारी property resemble करता है. And next is sometimes with halogens. Halogens means group 7A, or we can say group 17 elements के साथ हाइड्रोजन बहुत सारी properties में resemble करता है. Next, let us see similarity with alkali metals. What are alkali metals? The metals, or we can say the elements, which gives basic solution on dissolution in water and liberate hydrogen on reaction with acid. तो हमारे पास alkali metals कौन से होते हैं? Which gives basic solution. जब water में हम उसको dissolve करते हैं, then they give basic solution, and when that solution reacts with acid, liberates hydrogen gas. So in the periodic table, alkali metals are group 1 elements. Electronic configuration. Alkali metals and hydrogen resembles in electronic configuration. Why? Because both of them contains one electron in its outermost shell. Let us see. Hydrogen, this is H1, is having electronic configuration 1s1, and alkali metals, for example alkali metals का first member है हमारे पास lithium, that is having electronic configuration 1s2, 2s1, and next member is sodium, that is having electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Now there is one common thing in three of these, that they are having s1 electronic configuration, S1 valence electronic configuration. So hydrogen resembles with alkali metals. Next is electropositive character. जो alkali metals होते हैं, those can readily lose one electron to form unipositive ion. Unipositive ion मतलब cation, okay, which is having a unit charge, and thus show monoelectrovalency. Let us see how hydrogen on losing one electron will form H positive ion, that is a unipositive ion. And what about alkali metals? Yes, sodium. Sodium जब electron lose करेगा, then it will give Na positive ion. And here is potassium, and potassium also loses one electron to give K positive ion. And these all are losing one electron to give unipositive ion or cation. Next is oxidation state. जो alkali metals होते हैं, those metals shows +1 oxidation state, and similarly hydrogen also shows +1 oxidation state. For example, hydrogen का एक compound ले लिया हमने HCl, hydrogen chloride, and in this compound hydrogen loses one electron, and that electron is gained by chlorine. Similarly, alkali metals क्या करते हैं? In their compound loses one electron, that electron is gained by the other non-metal. Same is the case in KBr, where potassium is losing one electron and bromine is gaining that electron. Hydrogen, sodium and potassium are showing +1 oxidation state over here. Next is combination with electronegative elements. Like alkali metals, hydrogen combines with electronegative elements. And what are electronegative elements? Which can gain the electron, and such elements are non-metals such as oxygen, halogens and sulfur, forming their oxides, halides and sulfides respectively. For example, hydrogen forms oxides as water. हाइड्रोजन का बहुत फेमस ऑक्साइड है, दैट इज वाटर. एंड अल्कली मेटल्स फॉर्म्स ऑक्साइड, this is sodium oxide, potassium oxides, etc. And next we are having our halides, जो हाइड्रोजन के halides हैं, and one of those halides is hydrogen chloride HCl. And alkali metal halides are sodium chloride, potassium chloride, etc. Next is sulfides. हाइड्रोजन का सल्फाइड है H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide, and alkali metal sulfides are sodium sulfide, potassium sulfide, etc. Next is reducing character. Like alkali metals, hydrogen also act as a strong reducing agent. What are reducing agent? Which themselves gets oxidized. So, like alkali metals, hydrogen can also lose an electron to behave as a strong reducing agent. For example, iron oxide is reacting with hydrogen, and upon heating, this reaction gives iron and water. And over here, you can see that on the reactant side, hydrogen, that is H2, is having oxidation state of 0, and on the right hand side, that is on the product side, H2O में जो हाइड्रोजन की ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट है, that is +1. So 0 to +1 में हाइड्रोजन की ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट कन्वर्ट हो रही है, that means हाइड्रोजन की यहाँ पे ऑक्सीडेशन हो रही है. एंड जिसकी ऑक्सीडेशन होती है, that element or that compound behaves as reducing agent. Next reaction is boron oxide plus potassium upon heating gives boron and potassium oxide. Next is position of hydrogen in periodic table. Now let us discuss the similarities with halogens. What are halogens? Halogens are salt producing elements. जो elements salt produce करते हैं, those elements are known as halogens. For example, this is a periodic table, and group 17 elements are known as halogens. Hydrogen is a non-metal. Like halogens, it forms diatomic molecule. इस टॉपिक के स्टार्टिंग में हमने देखा कि जो हाइड्रोजन है, that exists as molecular form. That means dihydrogen form में वो exist करता है. And just like hydrogen, halogens also exist in dimolecular form, that is F2, Cl2, Br2, etc. Hydrogen can gain electron and forms uninegative ion like halogens, and thus can have oxidation state -1. जैसे हेलोजेंस एक इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करके अपनी नियरेस्ट नोबल गैसेस की तरह स्टेबल बन सकते हैं, जस्ट लाइक दैट हाइड्रोजन कैन ऑल्सो गेन 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन टू फॉर्म यूनिनेगेटिव आयन, दैट इज H नेगेटिव, दैट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज हाइड्राइड आयन. And this is hydrogen. Hydrogen is gaining 1 electron to give hydride ion, and halogens, for example, chlorine is gaining 1 electron to give chloride ion. Next is the ionization energy of hydrogen is 1312 kilojoules per mole, which is nearer to halogens. So hydrogen की जो ionization energy है, that is 1312 kilojoules per mole. And next is fluorine. Fluorine is having ionization energy of 1681 kilojoules per mole. Next is chlorine. Chlorine की ionization energy होती है 1255 kilojoules per mole. So these all ionization energies are relevant, or we can say comparable. It has greater tendency to pair up 1s1 electron and forms a covalent bond. Yes, hydrogen के पास है just एक electron and it is having greater tendency to pair up this electron so that it can be like its nearest noble gas, that is helium. And it forms several compounds like methane, SiH4, GeH4, and similar to those of halogens like carbon tetrachloride, silicon tetrachloride, germanium tetrachloride. Then on that note, we can say hydrogen resembles like halogens. Next question is how hydrogen differs from alkali metals as well as halogens. So let us see. It is a comparatively less electropositive than alkali metals and less electronegative than halogens. अगर electronegativity की बात करेंगे, then as we move along the period from left to right, electronegativity increases. That means जो halogens है उनकी maximum electronegativity है. But अगर electropositive nature की बात करेंगे, then electropositive nature decreases along the period. So group 1 elements are the most electropositive elements in the whole periodic table. But hydrogen can show both the characters, but जितने extreme में alkali metals electropositive हैं और जितने extreme में electronegative halogens हैं उतना hydrogen नहीं show कर पाता है. That means it is comparatively less electropositive than alkali metals and less electronegative as compared to halogens. Next point is it contains only one proton but no neutron. Yes, hydrogen is having atomic number 1 and mass number 1. And number of neutrons is equal to mass number minus number of protons. That means 1 minus 1, that is equal to 0. So it is having no neutron but one proton. Nature of oxides of alkali metals. Yes, alkali metals के जो oxide होते हैं, for example lithium oxide, sodium oxide, those all oxides are basic. And let's talk about halogens oxide. Halogens के जो oxide होते हैं those are acidic in nature. But hydrogen का oxide, that is water, is neutral in nature. So differs from both of these. Next property is size of H positive and H negative ions are much smaller as compared to alkali metal and halogens respectively. Alkali metal cations का जो size है that is comparatively large, और we can say alkali metal cations के size से H positive का size compare करेंगे then it is very very small. And similarly अगर halides के size से hydride का size compare करेंगे then hydride is very very small. So these are different from each other. Now, what would be the size of H positive and hydride ion? So the size of H positive ion is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 3, and hydride ion is having the size of about 220 picometers. जो H positive है that does not exist freely and is always associated with other atoms or molecules. Thus it is unique in behavior. जो H positive है that you all know is very very unstable and that is why it does not exist freely. और वो हमेशा associated form में ही हमें मिलेगा. That's all for this topic. Thanks for watching.